Hello, everyone.
Good evening, and welcome to Alex Feels Like Shit.
Same. I feel a lot better than I did yesterday at the game.
Yeah, I am very much convinced. I did some research today that I have what they call cedar fever. And I didn't know what that was. And then I saw it on the internet saying that I guess it was like the cedar fever was really high this year. And I'm like, what the hell's that? So I go online and I look at the symptoms. Literally almost every symptom I have is that. And I was like,
Hmm.
I guarantee you that's what was wrong with me for the past like 3 days. Because
Yeah.
I'm like 99% sure it wasn't COVID because I wasn't COVID. So I blame cedar fever for my illness, and I'm sticking with that.
I'll blame other things for mine, but we don't have to enlighten everyone on that.
No, that's nobody's business, but you're
Just know I'm A-okay. I just don't feel the best.
of course. All right, so shit happens. I got my whiskey and Coke.
Oh, nice.
I'm telling myself it's for my throat, because I have to go back to work tomorrow, so I have to like interact with people. I don't have to teach yet, thank God, but I still need to like interact with people, so I need to be able to speak. So
Yeah.
I'm just drinking a little bit of whiskey and Coke here, or Dr. Pepper rather. But anyway, all right, let's get into it. Yo, it's us, you girls. Part me, Alex, the only lumberjack basketball podcast on the air because we're super cool, and that's that.
No explanation needed. Okay, so
I had nothing else to say.
this one's going to be a double episode. So we will start with New Mexico State, which was Thursday night. Kyle was in town.
Whack Hoops Digest, Kyle McDonald.
It was exciting. I didn't get to see him a whole lot, but tell us. I know you got to take him around a little bit, so we haven't gotten to talk about that yet. So tell us.
Oh yeah. Okay. So most people know that we hung out with him a little bit after the game, the New Mexico State game. After the game at Nine Flags, he was doing his thing post game, and we all went over, and myself and Jacqueline and Matt went over to Nine Flags and were waiting on him and ordered him some food, and then we just sat around and chit chatted for a little bit. And then the next day so that was Wednesday, right? Yeah, so the next day was the girls' game, and I was going to meet Kyle for like brunch, lunch that day at Dolly's. But that's when I woke up and I started feeling like extra dog shittish. And I was like, no, not doing it. Sorry. Love ya. I'll see you on Friday if I feel better before you leave. He was like, all right, cool, that's fine. He had a bunch of stuff to do that day anyway, so I didn't want to like hold him back. Anyway, so then Friday morning, we messaged each other, and he wanted to go before he left for Huntsville to Butcher Boys for lunch. And I was like, perfect. I feel better this morning. I have more pep in my step. I don't feel like dog shit anymore. I'll meet you at Butcher Boys. We'll have lunch, and then we'll drive around NAC and the campus and stuff. And I'll kind of show you and point out things and historical parts about downtown Nacogdoches. And so that's what we did. We ate. And he's so sweet. Like, he literally waited until I got there to eat because he got there a little bit earlier and got his food before me. And I was like, Kyle, like, your freaking burger's gonna be cold. He goes, no, it's all right. I'm like, no, like, I love you guys, but if my food's here, I'm eating it. I don't want cold food.
Same.
Anyway.
I want other people to do the same thing. So
exactly. And so I literally told him twice on my way there. I was like, Kyle, if you have your food before me, like, eat your food, please, for the love of God. He's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, for God's sakes. All right. So we ate, and then I was blocked in. Someone parked like literally, here's my car. And then someone parked like this close to my freaking driver's seat car, like driver's side door. And I was like, well, I can't get in. I mean, even if I was a toothpick, I couldn't get in. So, which was fun. So we just took Kyle's hybrid car around town. which doesn't even sound like it's on, which is wild. So yeah, he drove, and I just kind of told him where to go. I took him around Knack, downtown area, and then we stopped at the brewery. And even though we're closed, a bunch of guys were in there doing the deep clean, so I took him around the brewery, got him a brewery shirt, so now he has a Fredonia shirt. And then I just drove him around. I showed him where I live, my house, because he goes, I was driving in on Wednesday or whatever, and I saw like there's really big house up on the hill on University. I'm like, yeah, that's my subdivision. He goes, you live in there? I'm like, yeah, but that's like, I don't have a big house like that. It's very misleading. Not all the houses in my subdivision are that big. There are some big ones, but no, I do not have that big of a house. Anyway, so that's what we did. We had a great little time. I'm glad that he enjoyed himself. I showed him some campus stuff, some things he didn't see or things he said he was wondering about because he would see it on social media and he hadn't seen it before. But yeah, no, I think he had a really good time in Nacogdoches, and excited for him to come back soon, hopefully, and stay longer and do more things. But yeah, Kyle, this one's for you, bud. Cheers.
Yeah, that's fun. Okay, I'm confused though, because I thought he was going to Huntsville for the boys game, and didn't the boys play Thursday?
He was going for their double header. So he went, the boys had a double header with the girls on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so they did play, but then they also had a double header on with the girl game and a guy game on Saturday.
Gotcha.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So he went down on Saturday or Friday night or Friday afternoon, I guess, rather. I don't know what his plans were for Friday, but Saturday he definitely went to both games. And then he said he was leaving and going back up to Dallas, Fort Worth area to visit, I think, with his sister. He said his sister lives up there before he heads back to Utah, which I'm assuming was today. I don't know what his plans are when he's leaving. But yeah, hope Kyle had a good time in Texas. Can't wait to have you back and have more fun.
Yeah, and it was good to see him. I didn't get to see him for long, but Matt Postins was there, so we got to have a little drink before the game, and then
yeah,
like you said, we got to hang out for a little bit after the game. But since I had to drive back, I couldn't stay very late. So. Yeah,
I love when Postins comes down too. He also brought a big box of beer for all of us at the brewery for Shifties, and so that was really nice of him. He did it. Yeah. I'm cracking up though because I'll give one last thing to Kyle because it was funny. So he texted me this morning and said, "Hope you're not too hungover after celebrating last night." I was like, I actually didn't go out after the game. So Jacqueline had to leave literally immediately after the game to go back home for an event. And then I just went home. I didn't go anywhere. The brewery's closed. I didn't do anything. I literally went home, ate dinner, and watched shows and TV shows that I haven't had a chance to watch, before school starts back up. So I was like, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. I wish I could. Well, even if I could have stayed, I wouldn't have felt like doing anything. So
no, if anything, we would just maybe go sit at the brewery and watch other people clean. That's all I would do, and drink a glass of mead. That's all I would probably do.
Yeah. Everyone thought I was hungover at the game yesterday, and I was like, I wish that's why.
Oh no, that's what they thought.
Well, I know Jackson did because I was like, I'm just trying to concentrate on not puking, and he's like, "Are you hungover?" And I'm like, I wish I was. I wish that's why I felt bad.
I know. Actually, when we were walking out, he did say, he goes, I feel bad because I thought Jacqueline was sick for another reason. Then she said it was for this reason. And I was like, yeah. He goes, man, it sucks.
Okay. I mean,
yeah. I was like, welcome to female life, babe.
Yeah. Flip a coin. It could be one or the other. You never know. Anyhow. All right. So Wednesday night, Alex was not feeling so good. And
I was not.
Man, I was in rare form for anyone.
I think I gave you my energy and my crassness and everything that I normally say and do during games. Jacqueline took over because she said I wasn't feeling 100%. I couldn't really. My throat was a little sore. I couldn't really yell, but I was there and I was cheering, but I couldn't scream at people how I normally do and yell defense. She took over. She was like a damn possessed demon.
You know what I was thinking today, though? Actually, I think the emotional part of the PMS thing for me kicked in Wednesday.
Okay, yeah.
Because I was in rare form, and then this weekend I actually physically felt bad. But yeah,
I know you poor thing. Oh yeah, but Wednesday you were on one, and then at the post game at Nine Flags, you were even still on one, and there was a bunch of New Mexico people there at the bar, like having a post game drink. And literally, she was getting so riled up. She goes, "Yeah, bring them over here. I don't care. Let's go." And I'm like, Jacqueline, they're not even talking. They're not even talking to us.
Well, to defend myself on that, Kyle said they were mad, and I thought he meant they were mad at us or something. And I was like, "Bring them over.
I'm ready to fight." I'm like, Jacqueline,
let's talk it out, man."
She was ready to whoop some ass on Wednesday. She didn't care who it was. If you just looked at her sideways, she was coming at you. She was about to square up with everybody.
Anybody.
Anything. I know.
Player, fan.
She was ready.
I was ready.
You were ready.
Yeah, anyhow, okay, so background. So last year, we played New Mexico State at home, and they beat us, and then we beat them on the road.
Yes.
At home, they beat us pretty badly. Not pretty badly, but anyway, 72-58. And then we beat them on the road by 2. Coming into this game, they were 7-7 overall and 0-2 in the WAC. Not looking to be a good start for them.
No, and we were kind of talking a little bit about this at post game and at Nine Flags, and we're not going to say that it's 100% the off court stuff, but I feel like a lot of it is probably due to the off court stuff that's going on with them.
It did not help.
No, not at all. And if you have no idea what we're talking about, all you have to do is literally just Google New Mexico State basketball and gun.
Maybe not even up. It should come up on the top news articles.
That is true. It should. But anyway, regardless, I do feel bad for the players that had nothing to do with that situation, because they weren't involved. They had nothing to do with it, and they're just like innocent bystanders in this. And also another thing to think about too. I'm not trying to toot New Mexico State's horn. We know how good they have been in the past, and so honestly, their struggles right now mean zero and shit to me. But I do have to say that they do have a brand new coach. They do have literally almost a brand new team. I think only one person returned from the team that won the WAC championship tournament last year, and he didn't really play that much anyway. So again, there's a lot of stuff going on with that program. And I mean, you hate to see it, but at the same time, oh well. I mean, no skin off my back, to be fair. It sucks, but
yes. I mean,
yeah.
Every year has the potential to be a completely new year. So
yeah, exactly. So oh well.
Next year, whoop our ass again. Who knows?
Oh, exactly. You never know. You absolutely never know. Anyway, so I'll go over the WAC standings, and also we'll add in the WAC seating for the tournament as well once we go over the GCU game, so it's more updated, because obviously it wouldn't make sense talking about a game that happened, almost 5 days ago. So no purpose there. So yeah, game notes, typical stuff there. Had the same starters as last time, right, Jacqueline?
Yep, we had Trill, Nana, Nigel, Day, and AJ. Pretty much our starting lineup for the past however many games. We did win 69-60. The attendance was 2,644. And to start off, Sean Kennedy's stat section. Our field goal percentage was 42.4%, a little bit higher than theirs. Theirs 39. Our three-point percentage was 35%. Like to see that. Our free throw percentage was not so great at 63.2, but to be fair, theirs was 53.3. So not a good free throw shooting night. Our points in the paint, we had 24. Our points off of turnovers, we had 18. Second chance points, we had 12. Fast break points, 6. Bench points, we were almost exactly the same as them. We had 22, they had 23.
Interesting.
Our total rebounds, we had 36. They way out rebounded us. They had 44. We had 11 offensive boards and 25 defensive boards. And fouls, we had 19. Turnovers, we only had 8. And they almost doubled that with 15.
Wow.
Yes. Steals, we had 7. Blocks, we had 6. Our game leader was, of course, surprise, because he's the game leader almost every game so far. Day with 18 points. He hit every stat this game. 18 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 blocks, 2 steals.
0 turnovers.
Major game.
Major game from him, 100%. 0 turnovers. Shout out to Day for no turnovers, too.
And he only got 3 fouls. He didn't foul out.
Again, another I love that's like the main thing now. If we can guarantee that Day doesn't foul out, like it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. So I would say moving straight into player of the game. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, we also had Trail 15.3 rebounds, 1 assist. Day has to be the player of the game for sure.
Yeah, I think he was the player of the game in that game anyway. Pilgrim's player of the game. Yeah, and he's my player of the game as well. I mean, just he was out of sight. But obviously Trell, and you'll hear me talk about him Trell later. But yeah, no, I can't with Day. Like it's not even coming like I'm not even tired of talking about him. You know what I mean? Sometimes I get tired of talking about people because they're just, it's like, wow, we know they're good. I just can't. I can't stop.
Yeah,
you can't stop me, baby. Can't stop, won't stop. So moving into the strengths, obviously for me, one of the biggest strengths is again the fact that we're getting our bench back and we're getting our starters back. Specifically, we got JJP back, baby. Oh my God, having Jalen Jackson Posey back, and either if he's starting, it doesn't matter, off the bench, doesn't matter. He's back. He's playing. He's putting in quality minutes and quality time. For his first game back, JJP played 13 minutes. He had no points, but he also played really well. He had the biggest and most disgusting block I've ever seen in my life. And he did it with his hand that he freaking hurt.
Yeah, that was the wildest block I've ever seen in person, probably. Maybe it was insane. And I hated that, like, the video that they got of it did not even do it justice.
They needed to have literally a video like right by the bucket in order, you know what I mean? Like it was the video from up at the top, and I know that's all we had, but
yeah.
Holy moly, that block was absolutely insane. Like he came flying into the paint, and the fact that he got all ball was nuts. And the fact that, again, he blocked it with his hand that he hurt.
Yeah.
And with force. Oh, my God.
Whenever I watched it back, I guess they didn't count the other one a block, but there was another one that I would have counted as a block. But yeah, that one was insane. And yeah, like you said, we were so happy to have him back. That was definitely the highlight of the game.
Oh, 100%. Highlight of the game for me, 100%. I can't even say 100% more. It's like 300% for me, is having Jalen back on the court, suited up, playing, giving quality minutes, either again off the bench, starting. It doesn't matter for me, as long as he's in the game. And then also with that play, that disgusting block that Jalen did that we'll probably be talking about for a few more months, honestly. Shout out to Derek for the quick rebound there, because again, the ball, he smacked the out of that ball. And Derek was right there for the rebound in order for us to get it back on our end of the court. So shout out to Derek for being there, ready to go and getting the rebound.
Derek was really on top of it this game, because I had a few notes on him as well. I can't even talk.
I can't talk either. I probably sound like a man. It's whatever.
He had a really, really great steal and fast break too. So he was definitely like aware and in the game, proactively thinking like two steps ahead every time. So that was awesome. Another note about players coming back, we've had him back for a few games now, but I feel like this game is whenever Rati really got his groove back on shooting. And I was
agree.
So happy to see it. So he was our third leading scorer with 11 points. He was 4 of 10 from field goal, 1 of 4 from the 3-point line, and 100% on his free throws. Yeah, I was so happy to see him getting his groove back and get his confidence back. So
I couldn't agree more. You know, I have so much respect for Rati, because he's been sticking it out, and he hasn't given up. And you know what I mean? Like, it's easy to get discouraged when you're playing, not up to the standards to what you put on yourself and probably what other people put on you. And I'm sure it's easy to, have that as a confidence knock, but he doesn't give up. He continues to go out there and he plays his hardest, whether he's starting, whether he's coming off the bench. It doesn't matter. This game, he was off the bench. Whatever's best for the team. I feel like he as a super senior, as a guy who's coming back for his final year, like he is just doing whatever he needs to do to help the team out and also have a positive season for himself. He had, like Jacqueline said, 11 points. He had 3 rebounds, 4 for 10. Yeah, he did great. He was 100% on his free throws. Loved it. I'm gonna go back to Derek really quick. Because God, I could say this about any guy on the team, but just something about Derek and his off the bench presence. I've said this before about Kyle too, but Derek's been getting a lot of minutes lately back, which I love to see. And again, wild for me. Derek, again, I think this is maybe the second game in a row. I can't remember 100%, but I'd have to go back and look. He had the most rebounds on the team. He had 6 total. He is fighting down there in the paint, which I love to see that. I really do. He had 2 steals. He had 6 points. I just love Derek's on-court presence. He's playing really, really well right now. And I couldn't be happier to have him back as well.
Yeah, I agree. He is a really great scorer as well. I think that's kind of the part that he's been a little slow on getting back in the groove of after being injured, but his defense is always on point.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. You know who else played really well this game? Didn't have a lot of minutes, but damn, again, when he's on the court, it's like a whole nother burst of energy.
I know exactly what you're going to say, and I have the best note on him.
Okay, let's say it in 3, 2, 1.
Robbie. I love him so much, and I'll have a lot more to say about him on the next game's breakdown.
Same.
He had great drives. He had great defense. He had some second chance points, some and ones. I mean, he's so fun to watch. Yeah,
I'm going to say what I want to say. I'm not going to say it right now because I want to say it for the GCU game, which is coming up later. But Robbie, he's a nut. He's a goofball, but he is one hell of a basketball player. And when you made the comparison between him and Leon Gilmore, I couldn't agree more. And he's showing it more and more and more. Every chance he gets back on that court, he's showing it again how well this kid can play. And remember at the very beginning of the season, they said that Robbie is going to be one of those. He's going to be a dog, an absolute. He's going to be one of the best players on the team. And I'm seeing it now because obviously he was hurt, like he couldn't play. And you didn't really see much of it at the very beginning of the season just because it was such a quick boom and he got hurt. Holy moly. Rob played so well this game. Again, like I said, he only played for 7 minutes, but for the 7 minutes he was on the court, he was 100% with his field goals. He made a free throw. Let's see right here. He had 1 nasty block. So he had 5 points total in 7 minutes. In 7 minutes, he had 5 points.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost a point per minute.
Yeah, I love him so much. And yeah, he reminds me so much of Leon, and it's the energy and the attitude for me. And I love it so much because, like I've said this before, but you can just tell when a player really loves and enjoys playing.
Right.
And it makes a big difference on the court. It does, because I feel like, and I mean, listen, there's all different types of players. And like, I certainly was a player who got in my own head a lot, but like, you need that one player like that on the team to kind of remind everybody, like, yeah, we want to win, but like, we want to have a damn good time doing it. Like,
let's have fun. Yeah.
Let's have fun. Like, let's win, but let's have fun doing it. And it just brings a whole different energy. And I feel like pushes you over the edge. And like, he has so much athleticism and talent that I feel like is going to be cultivated, because like when you look back at Leon, I think a lot of people didn't think Leon was even going to be like worthy of starting for the Jacks. And now what he's playing G League, like doing great. And I think a good portion of that is because while he is very athletic and has a lot of raw talent, like he enjoys it. So he's going to apply himself and continue trying and not give up and get in his head and get easily frustrated. So I can't wait to see what is for Robbie, because I think he's going to just whatever his potential is, he's going to meet it. Like he is going to.
Oh, 100%. Couldn't agree more. I'm super excited to see him play and how the rest of the season kind of rolls out for him. All right. So a couple last things I have. Good stuff. Bench points were great. 22 points. Love to see that. Of course, having more people on the bench and available like I mentioned, that was my first strength, having JJP back and having the bench, having an actual bench now, just makes me so happy. And I'm glad that we're getting back to that. Moving into my last little section here. I love Trell so much. Yeah. I can't. Like, he is my boy. Like, I literally want to make a Trell shirt. I think I've said this before. I just want to make a Trell shirt. I don't know what I'm going to do, how I'm going to make it. I don't know. I just want to make a Trell shirt that has his like little face on it. Cause his little smile, it just makes me happy.
I know, man. He was.
Hi, Dennis. On vacation. All right. Where are you at?
I think he's somewhere in Mexico. I can't remember.
Ooh, Mexico.
Punta Maya or something. I think I can't remember.
Oh, okay, nice. All right.
Yes, but yeah, no. And Trell was on it with the 3-pointers. I mean, he made I know he made 2 back to back, and then it was maybe 2 possessions, and he made another one. And
oh, he's in Puerto Vallarta.
I know it started with a P, and it was in Mexico. I can't remember.
Good God, Dennis, I hope you're having a blast. I've always wanted to go over there. Actually, it's just go to like a all-inclusive resort. That'd be nice. Jacqueline, we should do that.
I know. I need a tan.
Yeah, I'm pasty AF. I'm Italian, and I should not be. Come on. But no, back to Trell. Trell is the heart and soul of this team. And we said it once, and we'll say it again, probably a million times. And I'll probably say it at every single podcast we do until the end of the season. He's the heart and soul of this team. There's a lot of guys that are Dennis said it's beautiful here. I'm sure it is. Oh my gosh.
I bet.
Sending Dennis, we love you too. Hope you're having a blast. Let us know when you're coming back to the Sawmill, hopefully soon, maybe the Heckler Hayes reunion or something like that. The Ambassador Assembly coming up at the end of the month, maybe. Let us know. Trell, heart and soul of this team. I will die on that hill. I know Jacqueline will probably agree with me on that, though. When he's having a good day, everybody's having a good day. And when he's not having a good day, he's making sure everybody else is having a good day in some form or fashion, whether he's, playing lights out defense or he's, getting, he's hitting those threes like an absolute some of the threes that he lets go of, I don't know if they're going to go in because they're just so nasty. Like, he catches and shoots before he's even set that ball's off. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. And then it goes in, swoosh, and sometimes he'll shoot from the parking lot. And I'm like, no way, man. Holy crap. And it goes in. And so he just has that magic touch with the 3. And I love Trell so much because he's such a great leader on the team, and he's not even a senior. And everybody looks to him for, whatever it is, advice or guidance or whatever. And I love that. I do. And he has one hell of a singing voice.
You know what else? That was the first free throw of the season that he missed that game.
Mm-hmm. Which is
wild also.
What exactly? Like what? That was at that game, that was the 3rd game of the season for conference. We've had how many other games?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's just crazy to me, and I love Trell so much. He's my dog. He's my dude. I will ride or die for Trell. If anybody ever messes with Trell or hits him or punches him or elbows him in the face one more time, I'm coming over the barrier, and I will absolutely end your soul. Mark that. Take it down. I don't care if I'm being watched by the FBI. Double middle fingers. I don't care. because nobody hurts that sweet baby child.
Yeah, there's a few of them that we would square up for, and Trail's definitely one of them.
I would square up for a lot. Yeah. Trail would be number one for me. Not that I don't think he couldn't handle himself, but that's just my dog. You don't. Yeah. Anyway, any more positives on your end?
That was the end of mine, except, I mean, just literally on my notes, I put damn it, Day because I could talk for an hour about all the great things that he does. So
that's
y'all watch the game, you know.
It's a fact. And I guess to encompass my positives, in one thing is just saying that, you know, it's nice to get a good win like that under our belt before moving on to the GCU game. If we would have come away with that game with a different result, not saying the GCU game we might not have won, but it could have been a whole different game, whole different atmosphere, whole different, you know, mental psyche with them coming in after just beating Sam Houston. So, you know, and so great game. I loved the fact that they came into the Sawmill and we got some payback, and yeah, I liked it a lot. So, moving on.
With the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it. You.
All right. I'm going to have this drink gone before the first game we're done talking about. I need to slow down. All right. So fire us off, Jax. I'm trying to think about mine.
So.
God.
I yelled at the refs more in this game than I have in my entire life combined. I'm pretty sure.
I could at least vouch for the X amount of years that we've watched basketball together. Yes.
The only other game that probably comes close was, I think maybe it was like the year before last at Sam when the refs kept telling our dudes to sit down, but their dude was literally like standing up coaching. That got me real fired up. But
I think that was last year.
It was either last year or the year before.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah. My main grievance was, and listen, it happened again in the Grand Canyon game, and we'll get to that. But these players were holding worse than I have ever seen someone hold in their entire life. Like, I mean, it looked like we were at like a swing dance class or something, and they were about to like try to pick the dude up and twirl him around his head or something. Like this guy was literally reaching all the way around to the front of Nana's jersey and grabbing him, and they would not blow the whistle. And I was literally about to lose my mind because
I've never seen
we've talked about, and we only have one. I mean, they shouldn't be grabbing on anybody, but like we got one true post player down there working his little ass off, and he can't even move because the homeboy's grabbing him and the ref standing right there and like forgot how to blow his whistle. I was about to lose it. I mean, you
did lose it, Jax. Like
I did.
You lost your head. And I literally kept turning and I'm just like, it's okay. I've never seen you that figured up. I'm glad
wall. And I was like, if you don't call it next time, I'm going to go crazy.
And yeah, they never really called it. They called it maybe once the whole game. Maybe. But yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that as your first grievance. That is probably going to be my biggest grievance for the game too. I mean, they were literally derobing Nana. At one point, they whoever it was, I don't remember which number it was, literally grabbed his shorts so hard and was yanking that literally his shorts were coming down off of his butt. And I'm like, they're gonna pull his pants down and nobody's calling it. It was wild for me. But yeah. Love you too, Solo.
When we find out when that is, we'll see you.
Yeah, I mean, there's events and things that they have in the cloud, you know, up in the sky. They just haven't put dates or times yet, so we'll see. But as soon as we know, you'll know. Piñones. Yes, very good. Yeah, that's my my major grievance was that. I have a few others while Jacqueline is regaining composure. We knew this was going to be a hard rebounding game just because whenever we first walked in the stadium and saw how tall these sons of bitches were, I was already off the bat nervous, and that just made me more nervous. But then as we got through, I was like, well, it wasn't too bad. But they did out-rebound us 44 to our 36. They had a lot of defensive rebounds, which, again, I'm not surprised. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. You had one player, though, who had 10 rebounds and 16 points, a double-double, which was number 1, Avery. Yeah, I'm not too upset about it, but I hate when we get out-rebounded. I also hate when we get out-points in the painted. That's even a word. I just made it up. I hate when we get out-rebounded, and I hate when we get out-points in the painted. Yeah. So they had 30 points in the paint to our 24. Again, typically in the past, that was our bread and butter when we had multiple post players in there fighting. This year, the numbers haven't been as high, and that's just, again, due to the fact that we literally have Nana and Day down there fighting for every point and chance they can in the paint. We do have some other players who also play well in the paint, but I mean, in reality, if we're looking at the truth, it's literally Nana down there. So it's just been hard goings down there in the paint. There's going to be some games where our points in the paint are nuts, but during conference and against teams like this, they're just not going to be. And so those, again, aren't really hard grievances. They're just grievances in general. We outscored them in both halves of the game, although in the second half of the game, we let them back in, and that was a little stressful because, again, we came out to a nice lead, and then again, we let them come back and try to steal that lead from us, and the lead changed once, thank God.
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen, though. As soon as we jumped out early, I was like,
I know. Yep.
They're going to come back out of the second half and make adjustments and come back on us. And
because you can't sleep on these teams. You can't. Just like with the ACU game, I was like, they're down, but they're not out. Look what happened. They came back. Again, we won, but they still barely. Yeah. And then, of course, this game, New Mexico State game, again, we got out to a nice lead. And then in the second half, they came back charging. And that's just – I feel like that's just how it's going to go if we start off with a lead and go into the half with a lead. And it's just a plenty grievance. It's a thorn in my side. It's irritating. Nothing I can physically do about it. But
I agree with that. But I do have one note on the coming back out of halftime that I feel like it's definitely not the one thing, but I think it certainly doesn't help. And this has happened more than just this game. They come right out of halftime, and we let them get a massive dunk.
Ooh, yeah.
I hate that so much. And that fuels them and gets them fired up right when they come back out there to get a dunk on us. Because, yeah, it's only 2 points like any other shot, but it gets them going. It gets them more fired up and gives them a little more confidence to jump back in there. I hate that more than anything. Like, just don't come out of halftime and let them have a dunk, because I feel like that just charges them up to jump back in on us.
I agree 100%. I missed a positive, and I'm so sorry. I don't want to go back, but I have to. This is the second game of the season where we had under 10 turnovers.
I was about to say, I wanted to say, I think this is only single digit game, but I know I've said that one time other than today. So
second game of the season.
That is a good segue to one of my grievances. So I'm so happy that we only had 8 turnovers. We got 2 of them within the first minute and a half of the game.
Yeah.
We got a fourth of our turnovers in 1.5 minutes out of 40.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah, I know. And, and this is the one thing I'm going to say about Trell in this game. He had 3 of them. Nigel had 2 of them. And then we had 2 team turnovers. I'm not going to talk shit about my sweet baby Terrell, but we got to clean that up. Got to clean that up. Obviously, I know it's basketball. There's just no way in God's green earth that we can go out from a game and not have any turnovers. It's just physically impossible. But we got to clean those up. Those little just silly, goofy, dumb turnovers, mishandling the ball, bad passes, whatever it may be. We just have to clean those things up, especially going into these away games that are coming up this week, because we'll be playing like some of the top teams in this league, and they're not gonna go light on us, guys.
No, not at all.
No.
One of my last grievances was, and I know they didn't have just a whole lot of second chance points. They had 11, but we let them get way too many putbacks, and there were just a lot that they didn't make. So I mean, there was one possession where I swear to you, they shot it right at the rim at least 4 to 5 times.
Yeah.
And I'm like, am I watching junior high basketball? Like, what are we doing down there? Let them get it that many times and they still can't make it, but we're letting them have another chance.
Yeah. It was just one of those games, 100%, where the rebounding was frustrating. But when you're looking at a team that height wise is taller than us, unfortunately, it's going to happen. But we just have to be more aggressive down there. That's just the thing, that you could have to box out, block out, throw your body around a little bit, and make sure that you get the rebound. And that's all there is to it. I mean,
yeah,
it's just hard when you're 6'5" and you got someone who you're trying to rebound over, and they're like 6'11" or something. Like,
yeah,
that's just rough. That's just rough.
It is. My very last one, and we kind of mentioned this earlier, was Terrell getting hit in the face. But I'm gonna say, whenever I watched the replay back, it looked worse than I thought it did.
Okay, good. All right, I'm glad you're telling me that.
Like, I'm pretty.
I was mad.
To me, and I'm obviously, I know I'm partial, but I'm giving this to you straight. It kind of looked like the dude did it on purpose. Maybe he didn't, but it was because he was driving around Terrell towards the bucket. If it wasn't on purpose, it was a super exaggerated swing back of the arm as he was passing by.
That just makes me more mad. I was livid. And again, I could barely talk this game, but I was hot.
Regardless, maybe it was, I mean, I don't know. Only that guy knows if it was on purpose or not, but I feel like the referee should have done something. But
I agree. I mean, we got called for less is what I'm saying? Like, we got called for dumb shit, and then they get nothing when it comes to that type of play. I just, and there's some games where the refs let a lot of things go, and I don't mind it. But when you let things go like that just creates a dangerous situation and a precedent, and it just creates more opportunities for players to get injured. And we don't need that. Nobody needs that, but we definitely don't need that. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. It's just that set me off. I was already hot, and it was just, you know what I mean? Like, that just made me even more pissed off. Nobody hits sweet baby Terrell in the face and gets away with it. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
not on our watch.
Not on my watch, baby. All right, Jax, one word to describe this entire game. What you got?
I said retribution, because it was a tough loss we took to them last year. And I mean, they were good. They're a good team. Got a great program. Not ashamed of it, but we wanted that home win really bad last year.
We really did. That being the first year in the WAC, and they were doing a lot of John. Well, I say their fans were doing a lot of John on social.
I think the fans and Teddy were doing a lot of talking.
Teddy. Yeah, exactly. And then we had a big like tailgate before the game, because it was on a weekend. It was a little bit further down in the season. We had a big tailgate. We had all this stuff going on.
It was the heckler reunion.
It was the heckler reunion. Yeah. And man, we had a lot of fans there, a lot of people there, and yeah.
And it was a tough loss. I mean,
I have other things I would like to say about that heckler reunion last year, but I don't want to drudge up bad memories. And
me too.
I just want to put. Lagla knows what I don't even have to tell her. She knows exactly what I'm talking about.
And it has nothing to do with New Mexico State, believe it or not.
Nothing. Shocking. I know. Anyway. Oh, great game, great win. My name. My name is what? My name is who? See, my voice is already going. Here we go. So my word was silencer. This is for my boy Trell. Silencer.
That's the shirt. That's
the shirt. I just need to figure out how to do this in a shirt. And then just put silencer over it. I got to figure that out. Okay. Which I'll mention the shirt stuff in at the end of GCU because I think that's important. But yeah, so my word is silencer. Those five beautiful, beautiful threes that Trell hit were disgusting threes. And man, it shut them down, baby. Silencer. So that's my word of the game. Silencer for Trell. He's my dog. Ride or die. Love him to pieces. Love it. Great game, boys. Loved it. Loved the win. Felt good to win and beat New Mexico State at home in the Sawmill. Home wins are always going to – home wins are so critical right now, especially with this new resume seating. Got to win at home. Got to win at home. Do or die. No, there's no excuses. So, and then anytime we could pick up a win on the road, even better. But got to win at home. That's just – you got to do it. All right, cool. Moving on to GCU.
Yep. So Saturday's game, we played Grand Canyon University at home. This was the day when I was really struggling. I
felt so bad for Jax. Like it looked like
it was such a
I know. It looked like at some points like you were like in the fetal position next to me.
Yeah, I was in so much pain. I was nauseous, and I was like, "Am I gonna vomit for the first time in William R. Johnson?" I don't know. Hopefully not.
Because that would have been wild if that was the reason why you vomited and not because of all the pre-gaming we used to do last season before games.
Right.
Yeah. Which we have yet to do a big pre-game. They're coming.
Anywho, so I made it through, but give a little background. Last year we only played GCU at home. We didn't play them on the road. And it was the game right after no. Maybe it was before New Mexico State.
I know we played them right back to back, and I don't know if it was before or after. Can't remember.
I think maybe before, but anyhow, we beat them 71-46. I forgot it was that bad.
I did too. I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was a closer game last year, but I guess it wasn't. It was an absolute slaughter.
I forgot that we beat them badly. Anyhow, this season coming into the game, they were 11-4 overall, and they were 2-0 in WAC play, same as us. They were no.
They were 3-0.
We were 3-0. They were 2-0.
Undefeated, rather. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all the background I have. So now you can give the WAC standings and the WAC seedings that are up to date.
Okay, good. All right. So let me go back here. Let me get my stats up so that I have the right stats too. Okay. So for WAC basketball standings as of today, the most up-to-date ones, we have Utah Valley and Steve at Boston State University, both tied for first place at 4-0. God, I love to see it. Woo! Then we have Seattle U at 3-0, Southern Utah 3-1, Grand Canyon 2-1. You're welcome. Sam Houston 2-2, California Baptist 2-2 as well, and Tarleton the same 2-2. Abilene Christian 1-2, Utah Tech 1-2, UTRGV 0-4, New Mexico State 0-4, UTA 0-4. I'm trying to think of what Kyle had said. He was trying to remember when the last time is that New Mexico State started off the season 0-4. And I don't know, because obviously this is our second year in the WAC, so I don't know. But it's just wild to see them down the bottom. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, so that is the current standings as of today, Sunday, what the hell is today's date? The 8th. I don't even know. Okay, moving forward to the next part is the new WAC men's basketball resume seeding system. Whew. All right. So again, as of today, the way this works is that home wins, and I'm not going to go through and explain it again. Just understand that it's based off net stuff. That's all you got to know. Okay. So at the moment, Utah Valley is the number 1 team resume seeding. Sam Houston's number 2, Seattle number 3, Grand Canyon number 4, Southern Utah number 5. We are number 6. So we have moved up from 9 to 6. So that's good. So we have moved up. Utah Tech is 7. Tarleton is 8. California Baptist is 9. And then the 4 teams that would potentially, because I think they're still doing 9 teams in WAC Vegas. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's 9. The 4 teams that would be, if today we left for WAC Vegas, the 4 teams that would be missing out would be New Mexico State, which again, wild. Abilene Christian, which would be wild. UTRGV and UT Arlington. But yeah, so again, it all goes back to the net, and home wins are critical. Home or away games obviously are important as well, but you got to win at home. It's all based off of net and who you play, who you don't, and what you do during that game. So yeah, it's very convoluted. It's very confusing if you don't understand it, but just know that this system, it makes sense. It does, just for this season. It's very weird because there really wasn't a lot of instruction for the fans on how it all worked from the WAC, and there wasn't a lot of help from the WAC to help these teams get better games than what they got. So yeah, anyway, so we're number 6. So if WAC Vegas started today, we would go in at the number 6 seed. So there you go.
Which sucks.
It sucks, but better than missing, I guess.
My quick hot take on this, and I haven't even joined in the convo about that because I just think it's so convoluted, but
it really is.
I just feel like, why did we try to make it so complicated when, if it's a conference tournament and you're doing conference seating, at that point, in my opinion, shouldn't it just count off of how you do playing your conference opponents? Because if you played easy people just to get easy dubs at the beginning of the season, then that shouldn't have anything to do with that. But also, you did yourself a disservice by not getting prepared and pushing yourself. So let's just judge, if it's a conference tournament, let's just judge it on what happens in the conference. I feel like we're trying to make it way more complicated than it has to be. I just don't think it should be that.
Yeah, I totally get that. I think what I was reading before, whenever this all first came out, was that they're trying to model it after how they do the seeding, I guess, for the NCAA tournament, which is fine. And again, totally fine. But starting it this season makes, to me, again, my opinion, made no sense. Why couldn't they have instituted it next season when the teams had more opportunity to schedule the teams that they want, where they want, when they want? Because yeah, if you schedule yourself a team like an NAIA team, which we had to play multiple times this season because we couldn't find anybody, that does us no favors. None. Even if we win the game by 800 points, it doesn't matter.
I still just think it's dumb. I think it's dumb because I get doing that for the NCAA tournament because you're dealing with a ton of different conferences with all different levels of play and whatever. But this is just a conference tournament. We're all in the same conference. So let's just count the games against each other and see who comes out on top.
No, I mean, I agree with you. I was just saying that's what they said in the article. Yeah.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Anyway.
I get it. No, I get it. And I was just again, just trying to relay what they had said, why they wanted to do it. And I was just, it makes sense, but it also doesn't, because I'm just like, why should it matter?
It makes sense for a NCAA tournament, not for a conference. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we're the only conference doing this. I think we're literally the only conference that is doing their conference seating this way. So it's like novel and new. And
that should tell you. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't like this is exactly what we've referred to as trying to get too fancy with it, and then you just mess it up.
Okay, well, that makes me angry. Yeah. Because now I'm thinking about of all the times where people got too fancy with it and that turned into a turnover. Now I'm mad. Here we are. But yeah, but yes, you're right. You're right. And it's irritating. But I guess my thing is now it's done. It's instituted. It's over with. We're going to have to deal with it, even if we don't like it. But my main thing is now that it's here and we have to deal with it. I would love the WAC to help us, not just us, but the entire WAC teams get games. Because if they're going to reward us, say for example, playing a Power 5 or a Power 6 team, then help us get those games.
Well, that's another reason why I don't think it will last, because it's a totally nonsensical solution for a conference full of mid-majors that are going to be struggling to schedule worthy enough opponents to give them higher rating.
And pretty much every other team in the WAC probably has little to no issue scheduling these teams, because they really haven't had and this is no slight to them, but they haven't had the giant killer, reputation that we do. Like, we've beaten the biggest giant in basketball in their home court.
Yeah.
And so we'll never get a Duke game again. We'll never get the chances of getting a Kansas game are probably slim because we almost beat them. What chances of us getting an LSU game again? Slim to none. Chances of getting us a Baylor game again? Slim to none. Chances of getting a West Virginia? Definitely fucking not.
Never, ever, ever, ever.
I mean, and chances of getting a Notre Dame game again? I would love that retribution, but
yeah. So
it's really difficult for a team like us, not saying, other teams in the WAC it was a cupcake scheduling, but it's really hard for us to get those games. Really hard now because of our reputation. So, which it's cool, but at the same time, if we're going to get dinged because nobody wants to play us other than D3, D2, NAIA teams, what the fuck do they expect us to do? That's my 2 cents. And we've already spent way too long playing it.
We'll see how long it lasts.
Yeah. Anywho, so that's the WAC seating for the tournament. All of that was just to talk about that. But yeah, we can move on to the general notes of the game and who our starters were, which I think were probably the same, right?
Surely y'all have them memorized by now.
If you don't, you should.
AJ. We did win 73-68. Our attendance, I think, was probably the highest it's been this season. 3,000.
I believe so. There was a lot of people there. I liked it. It was nice.
3,286. So
yeah.
There's that. Sean Kennedy's stat section. Our field goal percentage is 49.2%. Our 3-point percentage, 22.2%. Our free throws were 72.2. Everything 0.2. Points in the paint, 48. Love to see it. I think that's probably the highest points in the paint this season.
I'd have to go back and look, but that gets me hot and bothered.
It's close. We might have it was in the 50s.
Hey, Rick.
Oh, hey, Rick. I hope you're not freezing. It's been like in the 70s down here and very humid. So
hope you're doing well, bud.
You can't tell.
Grizzball.
Okay, we had 18 points off turnovers, 16 second chance points.
Mine's probably the same here. So
No, yours doesn't frizz like mine does. Thank
No, but it gets so dry so fast. Like I just washed it yesterday. I'm gonna have to wash it again.
16 fast break points. We had 27 bench points. Rebounds total 32. We did out rebound them. They had 30. We had 12 offensive and 20 defensive boards. We had 17 fouls, same as them. Turnovers, we had 9. They had, so only one more than the previous game. They had 16 turnovers. We had 7 steals and 5 blocks. Our game leader was our boy AJ with 15 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists.
Rick said it's cold, all is well.
I figured it was cold.
Yeah.
So our other 2 highs, well, the scoring was pretty evenly spread because Day had 11, Nigel had 10, Rati had 9, Robbie had 8, Nana had 6, Jalen also had 6, Sherelle had 4, and Derek and Kyle each had 2. So pretty evenly spread out.
Yeah.
I think I would have to say AJ for my player of the game as well on that. Well, yeah, a big shout out to Robbie, but we'll get there.
Yeah, you know what?
Player of the game caliber, but he's something up there.
Oh, I'm telling you, if he would have played more in the second half, he would have been my player of the game, 100%. But I'm probably,
I think I know one of the reasons he maybe didn't play so much in the second half, but again, we'll get there.
Well, yeah.
It is what
it is what it is. You're right. But yeah, I'm gonna agree with AJ being player of the game 100%. He was Pilgrim's Pride player of the game. But as well, I'm also gonna give a little shout out to Rati as well. So 9 points, did well, had 3 steals. That's big. That's big. That's good for him. 3 steals, 2 rebounds. He only had 1 personal foul, which again, he played 26 minutes. That's pretty good for playing 26 minutes. He was 100% on his free throws. But yeah, I love to see. He played really well.
I had Rati as one of my feats of strength because he played.
Definitely. Go right into it. Do it. Yeah.
Great defense that game. Like the last game, he's back on his scoring. He did awesome. Matt, we talked about. So our boy Sean Kennedy from our stat section, he texted us and was like, Matt with these rebounds down there like Rodman.
Yeah.
He only had 3, but he only played 10 minutes. I mean, so he had half of what Nana had. Nana played 27 minutes, so Nana played almost 3 times what he did. So he came in, lots of energy, grabbed some really great rebounds. That was awesome. Nigel started us off very strong, 2 out of 3 on the 3-pointers. I think he made both of those pretty early too. Of course, well, we already talked about AJ, great game, but I'm going to go off on Robbie for a few minutes. Robbie,
I'm glad because
this game was he was so wild. Just everything we've said. I mean, he has so much energy. He's so excited. I mean, when he makes a good play, he's like clapping and he's so pumped up and he's like, I mean, he is next level. And maybe a little over zealous on some things like we've said, but man, he was so pumped up. And
I'm not mad about it though. I'm not mad about it because you know what? So many teams do that shit to us too, and it never gets called and it never gets warning or whatever. If it does, we don't get notified about it. So I support Robbie 100% on his taunting. I don't give a shit. I loved it. I don't care. I love it when Robbie gets so passionate and fired up that I think he's going to literally scream so loud and break out all the windows in William R. Johnson. Like, that's how I felt he was on Saturday afternoon. His first half play was bonkers. And if he would have played the second half more, I feel like it would have been just as bonkers. He didn't.
Yeah, I think so too. And so basically, I think he got a little bit of a warning, like maybe his third little like overzealous moment. Because the first two, the referees did not see them, or he would have gotten something. But anywho, so my brother came to this game, which I texted him after the game, and I was like, so now we know you're not bad luck to come to a game, because for any of you who don't remember, my brother has probably not been to an SFA game in like 15 years or more. And then last season when we played Charlton on the road, which is only 30 minutes from where he lives, he came to the game and we just played terrible. So I was really glad that we won. I was like, okay, now we know you're not bad luck, so you can come back. But when I went up at halftime, he was like, I don't know how number 15 didn't get a technical. I think the refs just didn't see the first couple of things he did, but he was like, I'm not mad about it at all.
Not mad.
He was like, I'm just saying, if he comes back out like that, he's probably going to get one. So I think that might be why he didn't get so much playing time in the second half. But you know what? And I understand that coaching move, because you don't want to see him get a tech or whatever. And again, I'm not mad about it either, because like you said,
I'm not mad about it.
And it's just, he doesn't do it in a mean-spirited way, really. Because I feel like there are different forms of taunting. There are mean-spirited taunting, and there's just like, I'm really hyped up and excited that I just made that, and I'm going to run a little bit. And he has such high energy, and he's just so inwardly thrilled he does well, that it's like he just can't contain himself. And so I can't even be mad about it, but I think he will learn to at least like rein it in
at the right moments.
Rein it into the point where he won't get a tech called on him. You know?
Holy shit! Because I'm just gonna tell you, when he made I don't know if it was a 2-pointer jump shot or if it was like just a little like layup, and he ran over by the GCU bench and stared those sons of bitches down and basically did like something. I was like,
and that one, the ref completely missed it because he had his back turned to it.
We're already back on the other side of the court.
I mean, completely missed the whole thing.
Oh my God. I was laughing so hard. And anytime Robbie was in the game, I just couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't, because of how fired up this boy was. Literally, I mean, after every play, no matter if it was him or somebody else, it was just, Hurr! I mean, even on the inbounds, this kid, man, I could talk about him for another 20 minutes, but I'm going to try and rein it in. There's just something about him. I love him. He cracks me up, man. Just looking at his face, though, honestly, sometimes just cracks me up, you know. And then all of a sudden, at random times, if he's on the bench, he'll just stand up and just start going, take that.
Yeah, and whatever. We've gone over it for 45 minutes in detail, but I don't care. He's just one of those players who's so fun to watch because, you know,
he loves the game.
Testament to all that. My brother, I mean, he loves basketball, but my brother's he's not like me. He's not one of those people who will just sit down and watch a game just to watch a game. Like he kind of has to have some interest level or connection or know someone playing, whatever.
Right.
And when I went up there at halftime, he was literally like just cracking up, and he was like, "I love number 15. I love his energy. Like he's probably gonna get a tech the second half, but I'm not even mad about it."
Me
And
neither.
so, like, you know, people who are just kind of casual viewers. That's the first game my brother's seen all season, and he was just like,
Yeah.
I love it.
And to be honest with you, Jacqueline, if he would have got a tech for his little move on the other side of the court towards the GCU benches, I would have been like, oh, well. You know, there's not many times where if our player gets a tech that I'm just like, oh, well about it. Like on that instance, oh, well. You know what? Let's get fired up. Let's get wild. Let's get weird. I'm here for it. Let's do it. And he was impressing me so much that I fought with my phone for 20 minutes so I could send a tweet out during halftime that said, and I quote, hold on, because I sent it to Jacqueline because hold on, where'd it go? Because he screenshotted it. Oh yeah, Robbie Armbrister. Wait, no, that's not the tweet. Oh damn it! Hold on. I gotta go back to our text conversation. I tweeted it. There it is. It says Robbie Armbrest is that dog, and it's a picture of Michael Scott. I might be a basketball machine, and so he screenshotted that and put it on his Instagram, and he says, "Back to that real raw." I was like, he screenshotted our tweet. I'm dead. He put it on.
So
yeah, so funny. Oh, it was just great. Robbie, loved the fire, loved the passion, never stop. Maybe just rein it in and only show it at specific times. I don't know. But at the same time, I don't give a shit. Just do what you want.
Like, you know what? We're going to get texts throughout the season. So I would at least rather it be something like that than something like mean-spirited or derogatory or like.
Yeah. Or like a dumb flop charge. It's not a flop. Yeah.
I would rather it be because you're just pumped up.
100%. I agree. Oh my God. The points in the paint being at 48 this game, shocked me because again, we're playing against another pretty tall team, but at the same time, I didn't realize what dogs we were in the paint this game. Well, it's mainly because they wouldn't let us get a damn 3-point shot off to save our lives. The only people that were able to get a 3-point shot off and actually make it were Nigel and Nigel. We took 9, made 2. So all of our points had to come from down in the paint, 2-pointers, paint, like jump shots, layups, etc. And another thing too, and based off of when I talked to Kyle on Friday before this game on Saturday, he had said, he's like, you guys have to shoot your free throws and you have to make them. Because that's one of the reasons why Sam didn't win on when GCU played them, is because of the free throws. So I was like, God, we have to make these free throws because GCU's free throws, nuts. Like in that first half, I don't think they missed any. They were 100% first half. So I was really glad to see that even though our free throw percentage wasn't obviously as good as theirs, we still hung with them. So that was good for me. I'll say it again. This is the third game of the season with less than 10 turnovers.
Love to see it.
Oh my God. Third game of the season with less than 10 turnovers. I love it so much. They basically had almost double the turnovers that we did. Almost.
Almost, yeah.
Almost. So great. I love it. What a great just a great game all around. It was stressful. I was going to lose my mind. Ugh. Jacqueline?
Only have one more feat of strength that I have to note. And Trell took a major block at the very end of charge.
Charge, yeah.
He's always so good at taking charges, but
he really is. He's like one of the best.
I have to highlight it whenever he gets one.
Oh, yeah, no, he's one of the best at taking charges. Honestly, he does it very well. Another great thing I would like to point out is at the post game, they sang happy birthday to one of our sweet little fans, Ant, in the locker room. Gave him a game worn jersey, which was Day's jersey, which we'll bring up, I'm sure, in the grievances. And so they gave him that jersey and they sang happy birthday to him. And so that was just a really sweet moment. And I love when we can make our fans feel special and important, because they are, especially ones like Ant. He's at every game cheering. He's such a sweet boy. And he's seen a lot of adversity in his life. And so that was just a really sweet moment. Loved it. I'm sure everybody's probably seen it on social media. And if you haven't, go check it out. It's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of those things. Super sweet. Loved it. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to whoever made This Is a Great Strength. Whoever made this cool like poster for the game day. Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Badass. So love that. Keep that up. I'm trying to check my phone to see if I had anything else written down. Let's see. I think that might have been it.
This has absolutely nothing to do with anything, but this is a feat of strength for me. This stuff is so good.
Yes. What is that? Candy popcorn, M&M. Oh.
It's popcorn with chocolate drizzled on it and little mini M&Ms.
Oh, well, that just sounds delicious.
In case y'all are wondering what I'm munching while I'm talking.
Well, that sounds so good. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna need some of that. Let me make sure I didn't have anything else I wanted to say positively. Nigel had a great game offensively. He didn't play as much as he normally does. He only played for 17 minutes. Most of that came in the first half. He didn't have as many minutes in the second half. I think he might have been battling cramps. And
yeah,
so
I think he had to be cramping, because I know Dad texted him, was like, where is he? Like, we haven't seen him on the floor in the second half hardly. And we looked over there and he was on the bike.
Yeah. So I think he was battling cramps. And so that stinks, but I'm glad it wasn't something more serious. But for the 17 minutes he was in the game, he scored 10 points. He hit the only 2 3-pointers of the game. And so again, great game from Nigel, what he was in the game for. And again, can't say, even though AJ was high point, played lights out, of course, Day with his 11 points. He had 5 rebounds. I got to also give a shout out to Nana with his 6 rebounds. He had as many rebounds as he did points, which is funny to me. He also tried for a 3, almost hit it, but
Almost did.
He doesn't try for the 3s often, but when he does, usually 9 times out of 10, they go in. This one did not go in, but I always appreciate his effort on trying. He was really, really, will be my, my last feat of strength. I really enjoyed watching Nana play on Saturday night or Saturday afternoon. I think he does what he can down there in the paint. And I think he played really well versus a very difficult GCU team. And I think he did well for the 27 minutes he was in the game. He did well with those 6 rebounds. He also had 3 blocks, which were, again, very, very good blocks that came at the right times. And then his turnovers are getting better. He's not having as many during the games. So his ball handling skills are getting better. Still need to work on it, but definitely getting better.
And I think they're giving him some better passes too, because
that also helps. Exactly. No, good point. Rick said, I forgot to tell y'all, I'm going to ATL for business next week, and I'm going to rock my ass figure. Good. Yay. Take a picture and send it to us or post it so we can see.
I know. I can't wait to see who you run into, because I feel like No matter where you go, if you wear something SFA, somebody's going to comment on it.
Especially in the ATL, because I feel like, especially with like Kevon, he's from that area. We've had a couple players from that area, so
Yeah.
I think you'll definitely get a couple people to say hi. The league changed 7 times during this game. It wasn't an easy win. We battled and battled and battled the entire game. We outscored them in the first half by 4, but man, oh man, they came back with a vengeance again in the second half. We only outscored them by 1 in the second half. And so it was, like I said, it was a absolute battle the entire time. So great game from them. Anything else on your end before we move to the...
No.
All right, let's go get it.
With the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it. You.
So my first one, going off the last game when I was griping at the refs about them not calling the holding, obviously they didn't call the holding this game either, because poor Day-Day's jersey was ripped top to bottom. I mean, he looked like they were getting him ready to like perform open heart surgery or put the paddles on or something. Like, it was ripped from...
It looked like
belly button.
Yeah, it looked like the Wolverine just went with like one of his nails down the front of his jersey. And I'm sitting here thinking, how the hell was that not called?
And you want to know my other complaint? So first off, during the game, I didn't see exactly when it happened. And so I was like, when did that? I guess I missed it. And then Dad and I were talking about, I was like, they let it go for at least like another possession or 2 after I noticed it. And Dad was like, yeah, they should have had him change immediately, because that's a safety hazard. Someone could get their hand or arm caught in there trying to guard him and really get hurt. And so whenever I watched it back, Hunter, I like the 42 look though. No, I'm used to Day-Day being number 3.
But it was funny that he was number 42. And so I'm literally yelling. I'm like, man, that 42, he's playing a lot like this guy named Day-Day.
But so I got even more frustrated about it whenever I rewatched the game today, because right whenever it happened, I think they actually did call a foul. So Day-Day went up to shoot free throws, and the referee literally saw that it was ripped and walked up to him, and you could see him acknowledge it, and then continues to let him shoot and play go on. And granted, we were, I think, about a minute, 100 plus the birthday present after. I know that was really sweet.
It was really sweet to give Aunt the game worn jersey for sure, with the big old ribbon. That was cute.
Serendipitous on that. But
yeah.
So what I was saying is, granted, I think we were maybe like a minute away from, the media timeout marker. So I guess he thought, well, we'll have a media timeout soon with more time. But like, to me, that's something, if the shot clock didn't get reset, or if the game clock didn't get reset, they would stop and go over there and take all the time in the world to look at the monitor for that. Yeah. So this is a safety issue. Like, why would you not stop right then? As soon as you see it, you already got play stop for the free throws and send him over there to put on a different jersey. Like,
I know.
I just didn't like that. I don't like that.
And plus, for heaven forbid, if someone gets a little speck of blood on their jersey, stop the presses, stop everything, stop it. We got to get this tiny little speck of blood off your jersey before we can continue. But yet we'll allow the big gaping hole in Day-Day's jersey to go on.
Because, listen, I'm not concerned for Day-Day, but as much as they were obviously grabbing, someone could lose a finger in that jersey. Just saying.
This is the truth.
Anyway, that's my main grievance from this game, but that's my number 1. Well, no, not either. My other main grievance is this. And I'm sorry, I'm going to offend a lot of people with this.
Boy.
I'm sure. But their head coach, I know he's like coaching royalty basically, because whatever. He His dad coached at Valparaiso. I think he coached at Valparaiso. He played in the NBA. His brother coaches at Baylor, so they think they're all hot shit, whatever. This is the whack. We're not like in the NFL or the NBA. I don't know why you have your assistant coach with his pants that are flooding about 3 inches walking over to try to join in our huddle. Like, does he want to be on SFA staff? I don't understand. It boggles my mind. Like, I don't know what little piece of information he thought he was going to glean from that was going to be just so helpful, because really the only thing you need to know is the lineup, and you can walk to the scorer's table and ask who's checked in. So like, what else are you trying to figure out? Like, it was just so, I don't know why. I can't explain why it was so annoying to me, but it was so annoying to me once Sean Kennedy texted us and pointed it out, because every time out that dude was walking all the way to half court, just looking.
Sometimes even past half court, he was past the line.
And why the referees would make him go back over, I don't know. What they thought they were going to figure out, I don't know. I'm just like, man, come on. What are you even doing? Go get some new pants that are long enough.
I was just laughing so hard because you were just getting worked up in a tizzy because of this. Like, to the point where you were standing up and saying, like, if he doesn't get his ass back over that line and back over to his group, I'm going to start yelling and telling. And I'm like
I was about to go out there and heckle this man for his.
Oh my God, I know. And I'm sitting here like, thanks, Kennedy for pointing this out. Now Jacqueline can't get over it.
Stuff like that really rubs me the wrong way.
I know. I mean, and again, I'm just
what are you finding out that's so helpful and pressing?
Yeah, I mean, nothing. He's literally just looking at who's in and who's not. It's nothing critical that he can't get from just a quick stare or get from
the scorer's table and ask who's checked in, because they got to check in if they're going in the game so that they know which players are in to put up on the board. So like, you don't have to come stare us down to figure that out.
Yeah, it was just a little much. And you're right. As soon as it was pointed out, then you just couldn't look away. And then it was just,
yeah.
I know. Oh my God. I will be remiss if I do not mention my grievance versus the dark-haired ref who just refused to call the grabbing penalty or the grabbing fouls, also refusing to call any sort of flopping foul under the basket. Just there were at least 2 instances where it could have been called a flop on GCU. And now, again, granted, there were a couple that were not. I mean, hard hit, hard, block. Got it. But there was a couple that were just obvious flops, no call. To go 10 minutes into the second half and no fouls on GCU. There were 10 minutes into the second half, there were no fouls on GCU. None.
Yeah.
How?
And we got players with ripped jerseys. Like,
how? Exactly. I'm sitting here screaming my little horse throat off, trying to get someone to call a freaking holding foul, someone to get something. I mean, and the amount of times I saw, carries being happened, all of those things and nothing. And I'm just I'm blown away by how refs. And another thing too is they were calling a lot of calls that weren't even in their area. Like, the person who should have been calling it wasn't calling it. And I'm just like, they're having to basically do your job for you because you're not calling the fouls in your area. What are you doing?
Well, and my only other referee grievance was, I think it was the tall, bald one. Literally almost got ran over because he got right in the middle of the play. And then poor AJ, that's why he missed that 3-pointer.
Yeah, because he literally ran right into AJ as he was trying to shoot the damn ball. And I'm like,
you not refereed a game before, man? Like,
I literally said so loud, I was like, if you can't keep up with the play ahead of it, get off the fucking court. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that pissed me off, the fact that you got into the way of a player, whether it be us or GCU. I don't care. You literally got in the way and hindered him from shooting the shot.
Well, and that goes back to my dad's grievance a few games ago when the referee could, like, if you're not in the shape or ability to keep up and down the court and out of the player's way, then you don't need to be down there.
retire, goodbye, drop some LBs. Like, I know I can never ref a game because that's a lot of back and forth. I'd be winded after 2 seconds. But like, and I know that, so I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? So
there's a difference in just the average person and someone who's trying to referee men's D1 college basketball. Like, you got to be in some shape.
You do, you know, you really do. That was a trip.
I was annoyed with that.
100%. Yeah. So, trying to figure out what my other. So personal foul wise, didn't have a lot of guys in foul trouble, which was nice. I mean, we had AJ with 3 and Nana with 3, but other than that, nothing too crazy, which is nice to see. And I'm glad that they finally evened up the fouls to 17 and 17, because again, for a while there, GCU had none. So that was nice to see that they evened it up. I feel like there was something else, and I should have wrote it down. There was something else that happened during that game that just, man, it grinded my gears, and I was so pissed off.
Well, I just had 2 more small things on
maybe it's one of mine, or maybe you have something that I wanted to say. Yeah, go ahead.
Because most of the other ones I was complaining about other stuff, but on our actual play, I felt like we just let them have a lot of really easy buckets that could have been more easily stopped. Like, they didn't even have to work for it. And I just don't like that. Like, at least, I mean, if they make a 3, some of those 3-pointers, like, yeah, okay, you run out there and you have your hand in their face and they still make it, like, can't stop that. But if it's just a wide open, easy little layup, toss in bucket, I don't like that. And on the flip side of that, we had some easy buckets that we didn't finish, like several.
Oh, that might have been what my grievance was. The easy buckets that, you know, wide open layups, wide open 2s, just not finishing. And that was pretty frustrating on our end. And I'm sure it was frustrating on their end as well. I was trying to look at the stats to see what the all right, well, I guess that's all right. It wasn't too bad. Obviously I'd wish the 3-pointer percentage wasn't so dog shit, but what are you going to do? All right. Well, that's about all I had then. Yeah.
Then I had one more grievance. This is more towards the end of the game, but
oh God, Jacqueline
knows what I'm going to say. But y'all, this is one of my biggest pet peeves. It really is. Listen, y'all know. I understand basketball. I understand it. I get there are situations where if it's towards the end of the game and maybe you're only behind 1 possession, maybe 2, and you really, time is not on your side, so you need to foul to get the ball back, even if it means taking the risk of them making free throws. But I'm sorry, like, some teams do it excessively. And I'm like, there's a certain point where it's not that you're giving up, but the game is over. Let it end. Like, we don't need to keep at this. There gets to be a certain point where you're literally just giving the other team more opportunities to make it a bigger win. And I just don't get it. At that point, I'm like, why are we wasting our time? I don't understand. Like, I'm sorry, I had to put down the times here. When you're down 9 points with 45 seconds, listen, that's best case scenario. That's 3 possessions. Best case, if you make 3 threes in a row, that's 3 possessions. And then if you let the other team make free throws, now you're down 4 possessions. So what is the point? You aren't going to come back 4 possessions in 45 seconds, 7 points with 35 seconds, and then 6 points with 15 seconds, and they fouled us again. I'm like, for what? What are we doing? I got to pee. I'm holding it for 40 minutes. I need this game to be over so that I can give my boys their hugs and high fives and go pee and get on the road.
Ooh, that brings up a grievance for me. Yeah.
What are we doing? I can't stand that. I can't.
I have to agree with you on that. You know, have we seen miraculous comebacks where you're down 10 points under a minute to go and it's just miraculously you're coming back and you're able to foul your way or get it back? Yeah, very rare. Very rare. Has it happened? Sure. Very rare. You're literally just elongating the game for no reason. And I agree with you on that.
There's just no point. There is a line. There's a line where it's possible and, it's worth the risk of adding a few more points if you're already going to lose. But like, there's a cutoff. I'm sorry. There is a cutoff.
No, I tend to agree with you on that. So my last grievance is, and I'm saying this with the nicest smile on my face as possible. Lumberjack basketball team, if y'all don't start coming over and giving all the people along behind the bench hugs, all of y'all, after the game, win or lose, I'm going to freaking walk my happy ass up the ramp and find you wherever you're at and yell at you.
It has been dwindling the last few games.
I don't get
it. Dwindled. We pretty much are down to just Nana, Trell, AJ, and I think they're kind of the only ones who come by, right?
Sometimes Derek, sometimes not.
Derek. Well, I said Nana, Trell, and AJ. They always come. Sometimes Day. Where are y'all at?
I would have loved to give Robbie a hug after that game.
I would have loved to give Robbie a hug after that game too. Like,
love.
Listen, even the players who don't play, we want to see y'all too.
Yeah.
We want to see our little Davion and ask him how he's doing. We know he's, probably redshirting now, so that's fine. We still want to see you.
Right, exactly.
And there's little old ladies that come down too.
I was just about to say that. I was like, it's not just for us. Like, there are multiple people that walk down the stairs, little old ladies, little old men who walk
all the way down there. They walk all the way down there to see y'all.
Yeah. It's not just for us. Like, yes, we want the hug for us, but there's at least 5 or 6 elderly people who walk down the stairs to come and give you a hug or a handshake or a high five and tell you good game. And if you don't come over and see them, we hear it in their voices. They're extremely upset.
Those are some treacherous stairs to brave to get to see y'all. And then.
So if you're listening or if you're not listening, Kemper, I know you're listening. Could you relay this message? Can you relay this message to the team? We have a couple of away games coming up here, so we have some time before the next home game. Would you be so kind as to remind them that the girls behind the bench who lose their voice yelling every game and that support you and love you would love a hug after the game, win or lose. We want to give you some good positive reinforcement or some hugs and the support.
That was a stroke of genius to put Kemper on that task.
I have it every now and then. I have a fucking brilliant idea. It doesn't come often, but it's.
I'm sure he'll come through for us. We would really appreciate that, Kemper, because and I get it. I get every once in a while there's going to be a game that like they're just not in the mood and they don't want to come over, and that's fine. I get it. But like at the same time, like you said, win or lose, we want to give them a hug and give them a little, word of encouragement, a little pep, a little boost, because that's what we're here for. That's why we're doing this. That's why we devote all this time.
We're fans.
That's why we watch every single game to make these notes and talk about this stuff. And like, I remember some of our most touching moments were when, like, I remember, I can't remember what year it was because my ears are smushed now, but it was Nate Bain's junior year, Nate and Kevon's junior year, when we didn't even make conference.
Oh,
and the last home game, they knew going in. We had a not good season. They knew we weren't even going to make the conference tournament. They knew that was their last game of the season. And when the game was over, anybody who knows Nate or doesn't know Nate, he's a very emotional guy, good and bad. And he was just in tears, and he still came over, and we both gave him the biggest, tightest hug.
Oh, that broke my little black heart. That was a rough season. And that was a rough game to watch them all break down and get so like upset, emotional. That hurt. Oh my God. Not much will thaw the ice around my heart, but that did. I felt so bad. That was a bad season, man. Anyway.
Yeah, but our point is,
so
we're obviously y'all feel a lot more than we do, but
yeah,
we're along for the ride as a viewer, as a fan. And so we want to give y'all encouragement. And even if it's a bad game, we want to give you a little hug and tell you it's one game.
It's one game. Literally, even during the game, I try to make eye contact with someone, and normally it's Trell or JJP. They sometimes I make eye contact with them. It's with Trell most often. And sometimes something will happen, or like they're in the huddle, or like he's walking off the court and going to sit down, and either he just fouled and he came out, or he missed a shot and he came out. And I look at him like, Trell, next play. Don't worry about it. Brush it off. Keep going. Don't worry about it. And he kind of like side glances at me and goes, like a little nod. I'm like, that's all you need. Sometimes that's all you need, man. And so anyway, that's my grievance, as lovingly as possible. Kemper, tell the boys we just want to give them a freaking hug for no other reason but just to say we support you and we're here. We got your back. Literally, we sit behind you and look at your backs the whole freaking game. All right, so Jacqueline, I have a really important question to ask you.
Yes.
What is your one word to describe this entire game versus GCU?
So mine was very simplistic because it's in reference to our conference record as well as our record against GCU. We're undefeated.
4-0. 4-0.
We have not lost to GCU yet, and we have not lost in conference. Yay.
Knock on wood. Because, but my word is, I don't even remember what I put. Booyah! That's my word. I put booyah because of a couple of reasons. One, Robbie, booyah. First half of that game was absolutely disgusting from you, and I want to see more of it. I want to see all of it. Let's freaking go. I was pumped for that. Anyway, okay. Booyah, because we won. Booyah. Also, booyah to having the special room open upstairs so that I could get food for free before the game. That was a booyah. That pretzel was delicious, by the way. And I got free food and water. Mwah. Loved it. Thank you very much. That was a booyah as well. But no booyah to poor Jacqueline feeling like dick, and no booyah to me still having barely any voice.
Good news is you have a week to rest it up, or more than a week before we have another home game.
Thank God. All right. Which brings us to, see, God bless, to the upcoming games. So, as you know, that was the last game of our homestand. Now we are road warriors for 3 games in a row. January the 12th, Thursday, 8:00 p.m., we are at Utah Tech playing at St. George, Utah. Oh, boy. Really good team this year. They've been playing lights out as well. 2 days later, January 14th on Saturday, 2:00 p.m., we are playing Southern Utah in Cedar City, Utah. I would love to eventually go to a game in Utah. I really would. I think Utah is beautiful. They have amazing scenery. I would really, really, really one day, obviously not this season, maybe next season, go to a Utah game because it's so beautiful up there. So I would really love to try to do that, make it a long weekend or something and go because I think Utah is beautiful. I would love to go see the parks up there. Anyway, and then the next week, January 19th, which is a Thursday, we are playing in Prison Town, Huntsville, Texas.
So we haven't talked about that one. Should we try to make that game or?
I know. So I was just thinking, are we going to go to that game? I mean, to be fair, it's more up to you because you're the one that lives further. I'm off on Fridays, so it doesn't necessarily matter to me too much. And the only thing that I would be missing on Thursday would be trivia, but I kind of already assumed that we would most likely be going. So I've already in my head said whatever. But that's up to you.
Let's do it.
Well, you know what? It's their last year in the WAC.
Yep.
It would be one of our last opportunities to go watch them play in Huntsville. So I say, why the fuck not? Plus, I would love to have some Potato Shack.
Me too.
I told Kyle like 3 times on Friday whenever we were hanging out. I was like, I'm not kidding, Kyle. I hate Huntsville, but I love Potato Shack.
It's so good. I can't wait. I can't remember. I'm going to have to look at their menu. I can't remember exactly what I got, but I'm ordering the exact same thing because it was delightful.
Yeah, I have the same thing as well every time I go. So anyone listening that would like to go with us to the Sam Houston game in Huntsville, holler at your girls. We will be going.
Yeah.
Not sure what time we'll leave on Thursday, but we'll post it on the socials. But yeah, definitely gonna go to that game. Would love to watch us. I mean, that's gonna be such a. As much as I hate to admit it, Sam Houston is really good this year, and I'm nervous for that game because the last game we played at fucking Huntsville, it was an absolute disaster.
Yeah,
it was so bad.
It was not good.
So, to piggyback off Jacqueline's word from earlier, I would love some retribution. Because it was such a bad game. Oh my God. I've never seen them play worse in my fucking life. And I mean, any SFA team in my life. Anyway, it's in the past. It's in the past. But God, I would love for some payback for that because that was such a bad game. Anyway, so then moving forward, we'll come back home on January 25th, which is a Wednesday, play UTRGV at home. And then that weekend on the 28th is our ambassador assembly weekend. And we'll be playing at Seattle U at 4:30 on Saturday. I believe that's a doubleheader with the ladies playing earlier, if I can recall. Let me look really quickly. Yeah, the girls play earlier at 2, and they're playing CBU, and then we would play at 4:30 or, at like X amount of hour or so after that game's over at 4:30. So that'll be fun. Sweet. Cool. And that rounds out January's schedule. Gotta love it. So, Jacqueline, you want to take a trip to Grand Canyon on February?
I would actually love to. I love Phoenix.
Oh, I would love to as well. I mean,
someone wants to pay for our tickets or fly us out there.
Uber Andy.
Huh?
Uber Andy.
Right.
But seriously, though, I would love to go. So if anybody wants to hook it up. But I do think, looking ahead at the schedule, we are playing UTRGV on a Saturday. So that might be doable.
I think it would still have to be overnight because isn't that like a drive or 7-hour drive or something?
Oh, we would definitely stay overnight. Oh, yeah, we would definitely stay overnight. There's not many. I would definitely stay overnight for that. And then that's rough that Abilene Christian's on a freaking Wednesday.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Damn. Okay. Yeah. And then,
Antonio.
sorry, Antonio. Love you, brother, but we'll have to make another one next year. Okay, cool. So, a couple things before we sign off are as follows. I know last time we talked about our new website. It's up. It's running. We love it. Thank you all for going and checking it out. Those who have been going on there, I've looked at the clicks and we appreciate it. Also, though, I've started creating our t-shirt merch store. So there are 3 designs currently on the store. If you are so inclined to go and purchase some of our game day merch, we're trying to basically trying to like cultivate an online store that has like a lot of fun t-shirts, things that maybe the fans want that we don't have, some fun designs, game day shirts, all those things. So if you go onto our website and go to the link at the top that says shop our merch, you'll be able to go and see all the fun things that we are coming out with. I'm trying to pull up the website right now or the site so you can see it. And I can visually show you where all of these things are. So let me share my screen with you and I will show you where it's at. And for those who are listening, all you have to do, like I said, is go on to any of our social media sites and click on the website that's on there. And just, like I said, follow so you see the link that says shop our merch. So hopefully it's on there. You can see it now. Oh, there we are. And then here's our little store. And you just have to click on this bonfire link in our website and that redirects you to the store. Click, click. Come on now. Go quicker. Here we go. Thinking. There we go. So, oh shit. We're good. So I added this new lumberjack basketball game day. So the 2 designs I put on there were 2 of the other designs that we had you guys vote for. I'm working on something new that wasn't something that was voted on. So we've already had people ordering the lumberjack game day. And I try to make it so that you could still wear it in purple so that I made the lumberjack lighter. But you can also get it in black and also a darker color too, if you so desire. So you can get that in a t-shirt. You can get it in long sleeves, hoodies, sweaters. You know, there's use sizes, whatever you want to get.
Crop tee.
Crop tee, yeah. All the fun things.
I got one in the crop t-shirt and I really like it.
Yeah, the crop t-shirts are super comfortable. And then, of course, our other design is this Axum basketball design too. And there's no purple shirts for this one because obviously the basketball itself is like a light purple. So it really wouldn't show up on. So all of these are light colors. The only thing that has a purple is this comfort color long sleeve because it actually is a nice shade of purple that it would pop out on. So that works pretty well. And then, yeah, so this is available, like I said, in multiple other options, long sleeves, short sleeves, hoodies, the crappie tee as well. You can get that in regular white. So lots of options. And then, of course, our original lumberjack giant killer shirt is also on here as well. So you can get one of those if you don't have one of those too. So lots of options. I'm adding new ones basically as soon as I can think of the design. And if there's a design that you would love to see, just let us know and I can go to what is the website. So Rick, if you go on to, like I said, onto our socials, like on Facebook or on Instagram, there's a link on there that you can click on and go and purchase it. All you have to do is go to our regular website and go to shop our merch. I'll put the link at the bottom in the chat if that's helpful. There you go. It's coming. There you go. It's on there. So yeah, hope you guys go on there and grab some merch. That helps us out a lot too, because any money that comes through that we will keep it. We do keep it for ourselves, but we literally use it for any time we go travel. We use it for, lodging, food, anytime we travel, for basketball, not just for like leisure. We use it for when we go and watch the team for basketball, not for like Jacqueline's random weekend in Austin or something like that, or my random weekend in Houston. It's all for basketball stuff. So.
And we always do give at least a portion to the Purple Lights Fund. So
Yeah. Even if it's like $5, but we still give some portion to Purple Lights. So anytime you support us, you're supporting them. Which also reminds me to say that anytime you drink Fredonia beer, you are supporting SFA Athletics. So specifically when you buy Purple Lights at the games. And if you've never tried our beer before, talk to me. Come to the brewery itself. We'll give you a taste of it all. We'll explain it. But Purple Lights literally just tastes like a regular light lager beer, very comparable to a Michelob Ultra or like a Miller Lite or a Coors. And so it's a light beer, easy to drink. And so if you're like, no, I've been a Michelob person my entire life, I understand. At least just give it a try. And plus, when you buy a Purple Lights can at the game, in the store, at the brewery, or if you buy it on tap, it's helping SFA Athletics. So why the hell not? Jacqueline, right?
Well, I'm sorry, you were kind of breaking up.
Oh, sorry. I was saying you like it, which is
I do. I mean, yeah, like she said, it's a very light beer. So even people like myself who are not big beer drinkers, you'll like it enough to drink it. I promise you.
This is facts. And of course, lastly, always we like to support and shout out My Plates because, of course, Sean Kennedy, and also because we love our My Plates. Classic win-win situation. You get a sweet plate, SFA Pride on your car, and the athletics teams gets about 50% of your purchase price. I'm tired of seeing all those A&Ms, all those Texas Tech plates, and apparently Jacqueline saw a Sam Houston plate. Ugh. Tired of seeing those on the road. I would love to see more purple. It's beautiful. It's lovely. It's easy to purchase. You just go to www.myplates.com/lumberjacks. You can basically spend as much as you want to spend on it. You can get 1 year, 3 year, 5 year terms. And you can get it personalized or not personalized. And again, it's a great way to support your lumberjack and lady jack basketball, football, soccer, volleyball, basically the entire athletics department. So make sure you guys do that. If you want to support your jacks, it is a Stephen F. Awesome way to be a real fan. And we love our plates. Thank you, Sean Kennedy.
Love them.
And I'm losing my voice, so it's time to go. We love you guys. We appreciate your support and listening for almost 2 hours. It was a long-winded podcast, but hopefully that'll help your commute into work or something, or a long road trip. Kemper, you can listen on the way to the games because you'll have plenty of to listen to on the way to the away games this weekend.
Yeah, he's gonna have plenty to download and watch.
Oh my God, bless his little heart. Anyway, like I said, we love you guys. Go buy some merch. Support us. I'm going to actually go order myself our own merch in about 5 minutes here once we log off. So I hope to see those shirts on the Sawmill. We've seen a lot of our shirts actually in the Sawmill, so it's been fun.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it is neat. It really is. All right. We love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful night. Have a great Sunday night. And shit, man, hopefully have a great week this week. And as always, Axum Jacks.
Without some checks.